estrogen imbalance can be solved a few different ways. My personal favorite is broccoli. I usually I like to eat greens with pretty much every meal, and usually every other one is broccoli. In fact, I'm going to take some right now. This is, I've mentioned, I called it before, the king of bodybuilding vegetables. Reason being, it's got, supposedly it's got some ecdysteroids in it, but key things is it's got anti-cancerous effects, anti-estrogen effects. It can help alkalize your body, so this is my favorite way because this actually addresses a few of our issues. Other things, there's some supplements. Now there's one called Indole 3 Carbinol, and that one actually comes from something that's contained within broccoli and cauliflower and other vegetables like that. So that's one. If you want to get a little more potent, which I haven't yet in my cycle, I may yet if I feel I need to, is some other anti-estrogen supplements that are out there. What the legal ones do is they inhibit the aromatase enzyme, which is what converts, I guess, whatever creates estrogen in your body. So there are some options for you, and like I said before, you might even have some more options of your own to help get rid of the unwanted estrogen. Problem number 2 is insulin resistance. So I've brought out a couple items here that I use to help combat that. First of all, one thing that's supposed to help with insulin resistance is high fiber vegetables. So again, I love spinach, broccoli again. This again, I'll have spinach with pretty much every other meal. Again, also my good old friend the grapefruit is very good for that. I like to have half of one of these every day, generally before one of my bigger carb meals. And then now we come down to the actual sort of supplements. I brought out cinnamon. Cinnamon can help with that. You can sprinkle it on oatmeal or various foods. Now, you can also buy cinnamon extract as a supplement if you prefer. I have in the past. It's up to you. Also, fenugreek. I usually have one of these every morning to help. Chromium, that's another good one, which again you can have in the morning to help stabilize your insulin levels. Now this is actually one that you should probably be having anyway, which is omega-3 fish oil caps. 6 to 12 of these a day supposedly can increase your metabolic basic metabolic rate. So and it can also help with insulin resistance. So that's another one. There are plenty of other higher end kind of insulin mimicking supplements, which are that you can try if you feel you need them. Usually those are sort of taken around your workout carbohydrate meals, but here's a few little ideas for you in terms of helping with insulin resistance that I've actually implemented pretty much all the ones I've shown you here so far. Problem 3, carbohydrate sensitivity. Again, it's can be compared to insulin resistance in a way. Generally people will have both. And basically, the key I've found to it, the main key, is to use carbs wisely. And I like the saying that that he who uses their carbs smartest wins. So what that basically means is that around your workout is when you sort of need, is really the only time you need kind of a heavy load of carbohydrates to make sure your body doesn't really self-sabotage. Now I wouldn't recommend this strategy. I want to remind you, what I'm about to mention is for kind of extreme cases. You don't want to be doing this year-round, certainly, and you don't want to be doing this long-term, but by cutting down your carbohydrate intake, and by that I basically mean starchy carbs, you can go a long way in terms of burning fat. Now, you're not going to want to totally get rid of carbohydrates. What you're going to want to do is use vegetables, which are in fact carbohydrates, but they're a different kind of carbohydrates. I mean, of course, like I've mentioned so many times, they have many other benefits. So what we're going to do is to carb cycle, as it's called, to have, you know, regular high glycemic carbs around the workout, so intra-workout and post-workout, and then the rest of the day the carbs are going to come from vegetable sources. And then what you need to do, and it's quite important, is on your refeed day, when you're refeeding you're increasing your calories a little bit, you've got to increase your carbohydrates too. So on those days, those are fun days because you can actually replenish your glycogen. You get to eat, you know, some of your favorite carb meals too, you know, without going overboard. Of course, you only want a slight caloric increase, but you want to have a larger percent of that be carbohydrates than typical. So I've put out a few here. These are my favorites because things like mushrooms, spinach, my broccoli, lettuce, onions, carrots, and of course my green supplement. Most of these you can throw together in an omelet or something and make it taste fabulous. In addition, a little bit of garlic is also a good kind of fat-burning spice you can throw in there. So that's how I kind of overcome my carbohydrate sensitivity, is essentially just lowering them and using them only in specific times of the day, except on my refeed day. Next problem, leptin imbalance. Leptin's job is basically to tell your body if it's in starvation mode, and if it is, then to basically hold on to every calorie it can. If you're in a caloric deficit in that case, then it's more likely to say, you know, I don't need to hold on to muscle tissue, so it'll break down muscle tissue where it needs energy instead of fat. So the key, pretty simple to leptin, is to trick it, and you do that by having about every fourth day is to have a day where you're, like I said, slightly above your daily maintenance needs for calories, and to do the same also with your carbs. So generally what I do is my high calorie day will also be a higher carbohydrate day, where about 50 to 60% of my calories that day will be carbohydrates. So and that should take care of leptin